Have you ever thought to yourself, how can I ever turn this scrolling habit that I have, like, into money, into an addiction? Can I be more efficient at scrolling? Can I use my time more productively than just like getting on my phone and just mindlessly, like, maybe you wake up, right, and you like turn over and the first thing you do is like you look up over this and you just start scrolling or whatever. Maybe that is your reality, you know? Myself and Nathan, we kind of look at it different, like, for the most part. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you producing or consuming? The only two people that ever get rewarded in this world, or the only person that actually ever gets rewarded in this world, is a producer. Think about what a producer is. Like, you know, people that own businesses, that run companies, that have personal brands, maybe they're on TV, they've got institutions, charities, or whatever. They are constantly giving. Do you think that it is coincidence that they are getting rewarded the most? For me personally, I used to be a consumer, bro. Like, I used to be like, my screen time, it was horrendous. I was embarrassed to show it. Like, for the most part, I was consuming crazy. And Nathan, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you get a word in, bro. Sorry, bro, I was just rambling on about. We're peaking. We had coffees. I'm just needing. Well, it is what it is. What was your relationship with producing or consuming?
Yeah, for the longest time, it's hey guys, I'm Nathan.
Sorry, boys.
Get straight into it. Yeah. But for the longest time, I was definitely a huge consumer, spending hours and hours mindlessly scrolling on whether it's Instagram, TikTok. I used to be huge into binging YouTube videos on. I was a big gamer back in the day. I was watching all those gameplay videos for hours and hours and just wasting my life away, really. So it was really bad for a long period of my life.
But honestly, like, let's lighten it up. How good are those doom scrolling sessions? Sometimes they can be, the YouTube ones where you start off on like conspiracy theories and then you'll end up on like a random dude making a shack out in Alaska with like a knife and a little bit of string, and you're like, whoa, what did just happen? Like, how did that happen? Is that kind of like what you were doing?
Oh yeah, I can't understand or explain the quantum mechanics that works behind that YouTube algorithm and where you kind of end up after, say, 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, it's a scary place sometimes.
And guys, like, I know we're just having a light-hearted kind of conversation on this, but look, it is a problem, guys. And if you are consuming for the most part, and your consumption and consuming and watching other people live their life, right, and not living yours, that's a problem, guys. Now think about it. If you're scrolling for 6 to 8, 7 hours a day, that is a whole shift, a whole working shift that you could have been working on yourself, you know? For me personally, what stopped me from posting, and I'll ask Nathan a sec, what might stop you from posting? Maybe I never felt like I was quite there enough, like I actually had something to say. Why was that? It's because I never kept promises to myself. My personal development wasn't high. I felt like I couldn't give anything of value. You know, so what was I doing? I was literally just taking value of other people, just consuming it for a cheap dopamine hit to make myself feel good in the moment, when all I had to do was start putting in the work. Like, why don't you think people post? Like, why don't they create?
I think the biggest thing is the embarrassment and the judgment that you might get of other people. Depends what kind of community and people that you have around you. But I know for me the biggest thing was worrying about what other people would think of me. You know, there's other people that are in the same space doing it much better. What's the point of you doing it? All those kinds of like self-talk that you might have. So it's just the judgment that you perceive that you'll have.
I'm going to tell you something. Great point. I'm going to tell you something as well. We are in a gym right now. If you turn the camera around right now, which we can't because we've got it all set up, it's perfect. We're doing the whole TV perfection thing. We're trying to get this perfect. But for the most part, there are people training, there are people looking at us, whatever. And for the most part, no one cares the way that you think that they care. So if you're thinking about posting, you think someone cares, think about what you're stewing over. You've got bills. Maybe you're seeing a girl or whatever. Do you have time to think about what that other person is doing? Do you have time to think about that we are in the gym right now, sitting here talking or whatever? No, you are just concerned that you need to meet up with this person for lunch or whatever. So if you're feeling a certain way, just know that no one is thinking about you the way that you think that they are. And if they look at you, right, they might look at you in passing or whatever. They will look at you once and then they'll move on with their life. They are not thinking about you. So you should be posting, right? Now, but what do you post? For the most part, like, give value. Like, if you've gone through some stuff, and you've overcome it, just pass it on. That's the way that I do, you know. There are many different ways of posting. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think you can have different purposes for why you want to post. For one, it can just be, self-accountability. For me, when I was getting started, it was really good just for myself to be putting it out there when I was waking up, that I was hitting the gym every day. Even if no one saw it, or just like a few friends and family and whatnot, it created that standard that now I would make up a world in my mind that they would, say something if I wasn't, waking up at the right time or going to the gym. So it was good for self-accountability, but you can post for a whole range of things. For me, obviously, fitness and lifestyle and progressing in those areas is a big part of my life and something I want to push out to the world. So that's what I'm choosing to post about, and something that I have a decent amount of knowledge about, and something I'm really passionate about. So you got to pick what aligns with you, what you're willing to push out there if it's positive for the world, and just keep going with that.
And fair point. I'm telling you, 100% agree. And not only that, like, just think about it. Like, what channels should you post on? Just whatever you binge on. If you binge on YouTube, post on YouTube. Hey, you know what? Posting on YouTube will make, like this, it tells you how to become a better public speaker, more engaging. It enables you to have the attention span more than like 2 seconds to actually sit there. And just know that for the most part, like, if you're posting on YouTube, we don't go to learn. So, like, maybe some people do on TikTok or whatever. But for me, when I go how to something, I just come on YouTube. So, like, it's great for educational. This is the best free university that you could have. I've learned stuff in here, better life lessons on this consistently every single day than I have on any kind of paid program, whatever. It's all here on YouTube. Then you can just do Instagram and I stay off TikTok personally because I just don't want to mush my brain for the most part. I don't know how you feel about it, but where do you
Yeah, well, I think a cheat code for me was I kind of got started more consistently on TikTok, and that was to get over the barrier of people judging me. So I think most people, they have a few friends and family on Instagram, and that's the main platform that people have that kind of social network. But most people, they just have their silent TikTok account that they follow and whatnot. So I was posting mainly on there just to get started, get into the groove of it, get over the whole that barrier of posting yourself online. And then once I'd kind of built up that confidence and I was used to that standard, then I could move on to Instagram, and then I was posting where friends and family were, and I was getting a bit more of a bigger reach, and I was building that new standard, and then I continued to progress from there. So all these platforms are useful, and you can kind of strategize to that end. So I think those are the main ones.
All right. I think that Nate's going to agree with me on what I say on this. I have removed all family from my socials, and it's not out of hate, right? But it's business, right? So it's business as well. How can I help the most amount of people? I can do it through Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. Will some people disagree and try and bump steer, and say what I should be posting for the most part, and make me feel a certain way if I say my genuine opinion? For me, it was important that I removed all family like that, not out of hate, whatever. If they want to call me, they can just call me. Like, if I want to call them, I call them. That's the relationship. But I see this kind of how can I help people at scale? Some people might say, oh, you should be doing this or whatever. That might sway you. The thing is to be genuine and to put your best foot forward. That's how I removed everything like that. Is that kind of what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it comes down to a lot of people say you got to change your environment to change yourself, and on something of a smaller scale of posting on social media, your biggest fears of judgment are going to be coming from those close friends and family, the people that you see often, the people that you hold their opinions in high regard. So yeah, I think that can be a really good tactic, or something you should consider, to just put your authentic self out there and not have to worry about judgment, especially when you're posting for the first time. A lot of your posts will just go out to random people. You don't know their face, you don't know their name, and you can put out exactly what you want to out there without worrying about what people are thinking, especially if you're going to be seeing your family, friends later that day. You can just put out exactly what you want to. So I think it's a good idea.
Sweet. Yeah, that's the thing. It's frictionless as possible, and you can just literally say what you mean. Now, we want the benefits of posting as well. Think about it. Maybe you're not into posting just yet. You think that there's no value in it or whatever. There are no negatives to posting and helping people. The way that Nathan and I have connected, this is open, for me personally, it's open business opportunities where I've been able to take a bet on myself. I've been able to travel. I've been able to quit construction. Why? Because I'm putting my energy out, saying what worked, giving outwardly without no expectation. And this is another thing. Be outcome independent when you are kind of sharing. You know what I'm saying? Don't go, what can I receive? You will get everything. If you, for the most part, give out good energy and help people, you're going to get everything back in return. It's weird. When you ask on the front end and people see that you're super transactional, it's not how it works, like with anything in life. The way that you receive, that's kind of like a 9-to-5 mentality as well. Oh, I need to do this. If I do this, I will get that. That is wrong. That is not how it works in business. And like how, for the most part, you need to give value for you to receive value. So don't ever go into a frame like that, because people will see it. Now, benefits of posting and stuff like that, there are no downsides. How much better has this made you, like all around, like accountability, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and it's improved all areas of my life, to be honest. Like at the start, it was more of a self-accountability thing. I was putting myself out there, like I'd said earlier, like I was putting out what time I'm waking up, that I'm going to the gym, I'm staying consistent, I'm eating healthy food. So that was the start for me, but then it kind of progressed and expanded to other areas. Once I'd kind of got that under lock and key, and that was my new standard, that's what people expected from me, and it was no longer a challenge really to do those things. And I was like, how do I improve this? How do I expand into other areas? And that's where, business opportunities and all those kinds of things came around.
Let's talk about the good shit now. I want to talk about hate. Hey, first things first. Hate always comes from below, it never comes from above. If anyone's ever doing better than you, they will never take the time out to go, oh, you're doing this, whatever. It just doesn't work like that. So if you ever get hate, great. That means that you're actually doing something. You've stopped someone's monkey brain from scrolling to stop and go, you know what? F this person or whatever, if that's good. That means that you're actually making good content. You're triggering something in that person, I've had great hate stories. I've had people like in my request inbox, guys, if I go through this and show you, like, I don't give them any time of day, but like people just constantly bagging or whatever. People always hate on what they gave up on. I used to see, I've got to do this, I'll keep this person happy or whatever. You can't keep anyone happy. You could be the best person, have the best of intentions, and someone who is committed to hating on you, on what they gave up on, because they're in a rut or whatever. It's pretty laughable. But I don't know, how do you deal with hate? Have you copped hate? Like, yeah, what's the go?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I'm mostly just getting started in my social media journey, so maybe not as much as you, but I have copped it from time to time, and it's an interesting, kind of experience. And I like to think of it like you kind of said, like hate never comes from above. And I like to put myself in their shoes. Like I'm never going to take the time out of my day to go onto somebody else's page or YouTube channel or whatever and say something negative. Like I don't have the time for it. That's one. And then two, that's not the kind of person I am. I don't want to be giving out negative energy into the world and putting someone down that's clearly just, doing something good for themselves or people around them. So you got to shift and think about how they are seeing the world, and just realize that you wouldn't want to trade places with them in the first place. So I think that's just the best way to kind of look at it.
And just, if they're hating, just make them hate on a better show. You know what I mean? Just make it more epic. You know what I mean? Just keep going harder and don't quit. They are your biggest fans. Just remember, for someone, you don't just hate someone randomly. For someone to hate you and choose to hate you, they must have loved you or liked you to a degree in a weird, effed up kind of way. That's how I look at it. They must have thought of me a certain way, and now they don't like me now. So like they're just confused people that actually love you. You know what I mean? So don't let them stop. Just give them a grouse show. Give them the best show, in my opinion. Yeah. Now, just know that, be outcome independent, and energy is everything, right? People come to you for an energy exchange, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you make yourself stand out? You need to come with a different energy. How do you have a different energy? You must have lived it, you must have breathed it, whatever. This is why only talking about things that you've kind of experienced for the most part, if you haven't lived it, people will know, man. They'll see that you've done the work, you're coming through with a certain energy or whatever. So if you're not like kind of congruent with that, they will not watch you by default.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and it's something where you got to think about the long term as well. Like, what is your why for posting and all these things? Because with life and whatever goals you want to achieve, it's better just to think about the long term effects and what it is you are trying to chase after, rather than the short term pain or the short term struggles. And realize you can look back in a year or two, and I think you had given me that advice to take a screenshot of some hate comment or save it for later and use it as fuel and energy to continue to drive your progress moving forward. And you can refer back to that and be like, that was such a long time ago. Look how much I've grown from there.
And now that we've talked about posting, what to post, why you should post, the good, the bad, or whatever, let's talk about income. How do we turn kind of social media and being social for the most part? How can you actually turn it into something where it can actually be fruitful for you? The first things first, like problem, reaction, solution, solving. Like whenever you've had a problem, think about what problems are you stewing over? Just think to yourself, like what problems am I going through? Have I solved it? Have I lived it? Have I overcome it? Bang, you can teach it for the most part. This is how coaching came into, like obviously everyone's a coach these days or whatever, but for good reason, you know what I mean? There's things that school can't teach you know what I mean? Life is the best teacher. You need to live it. Don't shy away from the experiences and from learning and all those experiences. Don't shy away from it. Figure out some stuff and pass it on. Like I found that when I've held it, like how selfish is that, right? Think about you've gone through some stuff. You get out some things that could potentially save people 6 months, 12 years, 12 months, like a year, 2, 3, whatever, and you hold that to yourself. I find that is when you should be sharing the most. This is why you have a duty to do it. And if you don't, I feel like you will get punished for it. Like, I don't know, like how do you think that you should how can you turn your scrolling and whatever, like into kind of income? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think, well, and to be able to give value out, like you really need to have either gone through something, gone through your own struggle, gone through your own pain in life to really have seen the different perceptions and realities that there is, to see what it is that you're made of and what you can provide to the world. So if you've been through something that's difficult or hard or overcome the challenge, and you can teach someone in a quick and efficient way, and possibly even in a different way as well, where they can, resonate with you and realize they can see the end result through your teachings, is something that other people will see with a lot of value. They'll put that importance on your advice and what it is that you have to say, because you've been through it, you've come out the other end. He knows something that I don't know. So I think that's the main things. You need to have gone through something, come out the other end, and pulled out some lessons from that.
Yeah. And the more bad, like the worst stuff that you've been, that is your superpower. You've been through so much, got more context, more difficulty, more adversity, and for you to come through it, do you not think that is epic? You know what I mean? Like, so whatever you're over and you think that you're embarrassed about it or whatever, or I went through this, or my parents divorced, like I lost someone, business failed, I tried this, don't you think that that's more epic? And you've overcome it, you've come through it. So I dare say that your biggest loss or perceived kind of losses are your biggest superpower, which enable you to come on with this energy and help people.
So the first thing is, obviously we all have different purposes for eventually getting started posting on social media. And if this is something you want to try and make some money off of, the first thing you need to be able to answer to yourself is, can I teach a problem, and can I teach it efficiently and effectively to somebody else that they're going to resonate with and want to learn from you? So if you're able to put that value out into the world and make someone else see that and realize I need that, then that's where that money-making opportunity is coming from, where you're able to help someone out, whether that's through coaching or through a course that somebody does need to improve their own lives, because they see that you've gone through some kind of hardship or overcome some kind of challenge, and that you have that knowledge that they don't have. I think that's the first step to generating your own money online, and not just being a consumer, but producing content, producing solutions for other people to witness and realize and make them resonate with it, that's something that they need.
Perfect. All right, guys, we're going to wrap that up. And Nath couldn't have finished it better himself. Now, if you want to get in touch with Nath, you can find him at Nathan Raja.
Just on all the main socials, Nathan Raja. So find me there.
You obviously find me on Philip Gregov for the most part. And guys, I'm just going to leave you with this, guys. Whatever you've been through, whatever you're holding on to, whatever, that is your greatest superpower. You don't have to waste days working a full shift, scrolling into you solving problems for other people, being the solution, being the good energy, giving, and you're actually going to receive everything that you want in this life and more. Anyway, I'll leave you with that, and anyway, chat to you soon. Ciao.